Hello, angels. I hope that you've all been well. I've been, once again, broken record, meaning to come on here with a particular thing for a while now, a couple weeks, and I'm getting around to it now. So there. One of the things that I teach in therapy work with my clients on is sitting in uncomfortable places. And the idea is that if you can get comfortable being uncomfortable, you will be a lot less likely to self-sabotage in a variety of ways. Because often when we're uncomfortable, we reach for something else to distract us from feeling uncomfortable rather than getting curious about what it is that's making us uncomfortable and figuring out where that's coming from and what message that has for us so that we can deal with it in whatever form that might take. But learning to sit with discomfort can be a very challenging task. I had never thought about being loved as being uncomfortable and or sitting in love being a challenging task. And that was a real eye-opener for me. So the story goes, a couple weeks ago, I was meditating, and I have recently recommitted to sitting in meditation every day for a period of time. I'm not putting a time limit on it. Sometimes I go 40, 45 minutes. Sometimes I go 10. Sometimes it's 20. I don't know. I don't allow time to be a constraint to keep me from doing it, to think like, oh, I only have 30 minutes, so I don't have time, right? No, I can sit down for 10 minutes. I can sit for 15. I can sit for 20 if I have 30 minutes. I can sit for 25 potentially. So I have recommitted to that recently. But I'm not letting time be a constraint as much as possible. And one of the other practices that I'm engaging in currently is connecting with Source, God, the All One, whatever you want to call it, and just connecting to that love feeling. I think that I have spoken in earlier videos about getting love hits, right? Getting love hits from my guides, getting love hits from those who have passed on, like my father. And to me, a love hit, what that feels like is, or what I'm talking about, is this just really indescribable feeling of love and unconditional love and warmth and acceptance that just flows in. And it has at times, and in the past, it used to make me sob. I mean, there have been times when I literally had to pull off the highway because a song came on, I got a love hit, and I was sobbing so uncontrollably that I couldn't see the road. So I would get off, right? And then I came to understand that maybe if I could hold it without getting so emotional, but just allowing it to be, right? That I'd be able to hold on to that feeling longer. Because I felt like when I became really emotional, I became distracted from it and I lost that feeling of connection that I had with the divine. And whether you want to think of it as the divine outside of us, the divine within us, to me, it's all the same anyway. But I do feel like it is coming from somewhere other than me, personally. So the other day I was in meditation and I was doing this practice of just connecting, just being open to the divine, just being open. And sometimes it's a light love hit, sometimes it's a heavier love hit. I usually feel something. On this particular day, it was a fairly strong love hit, right? So I was feeling emotional. I wasn't crying, but I was feeling very emotional. I might have teared up a little bit, and I was really feeling it, and it was feeling so beautiful. And I was just feeling these waves of unconditional love and acceptance and compassion And I loved it, and I was loving it and loving it. And then all of a sudden there was this like little voice in my head that was like, okay, we're done. And so I started to like, fold my hands and have my gratitude moment before I was going to move on with my day. And then I had another voice come up and say, whoa, we're still here. Like, we're still loving on you. Why are you leaving? You haven't got anywhere you got to go. And so I sat there and I thought, okay, that's true. Why am I trying to go? Like, I want this, right? Why am I trying to leave it? And the immediate thought came to me was that I didn't feel worthy of it, that I'd gotten some, and that should be enough, right? Even though there was more for me out there was more abundance, there was more love, there was more acceptance, I didn't feel worthy of it, so I was just going to get up and go. But I was the one doing that. I was the one making that decision. I was the one telling myself that story. Even if I didn't realize it in that very moment, I had to sit there and think about it for a second. I did realize it at the time. So I thought, okay. Took a deep breath, settled back down, imagined myself opening it up and connecting to the divine again and connecting to that love. And it just came in so beautifully, and it just kept coming, and it kept coming, and it kept coming. And I thought, okay, just be open. And it was weirdly uncomfortable. It felt weirdly uncomfortable to be completely encompassed in love. And that just, I thought, wow, that is like, we're used to being uncomfortable if we're in fear, or if we're anxious about something that we think might happen in the future or not happen, or if we're feeling guilty, or if we're feeling rage, or like, we're used to being uncomfortable with those feelings, right? How interesting is it that you can be, or that I can be, maybe you don't have this problem, but that I found it intensely interesting that I could be made so uncomfortable by unconditional love. And at the basis of that, it was because I didn't feel like I was worthy of that. And that's where grace comes in. It's not about being worthy or not worthy, right? That's not. We are beings of love. We're made to love and be loved and to love each other. And I guess we really need to be able to hook into the love that comes from nature, the divine, the all one, God, Jesus, whatever source you believe in. And how hard is that to sit in that love? And I want you to imagine that. And even in relationship, imagine that. Like, it feels very vulnerable. And I think that's maybe part of the problem too, right? It feels very vulnerable to be so open to that kind of love. And if you think about it in relationship, that can be uncomfortable, right? When someone loves you so wholeheartedly, your immediate, or our immediate reaction, or a lot of people's immediate reaction, my immediate reaction is often like, ooh, what's wrong with you? Like, I don't know why you'd want to be that, like, love me that much, because I'm definitely not worth it, right? I'm not good enough for that. So my invitation is just to sit with that discomfort, and maybe even play with opening yourself up to love and joy and acceptance, and seeing if it's difficult, being curious about whether or not you're ready to shut it off at a certain point, that you're like, okay, and maybe staying that one more minute or another minute in it, and seeing how long you can stay in it. It's not just about staying with the emotions we're more familiar with and we're more familiar with being uncomfortable with. I'd like to see us get uncomfortable with love. So that's what I have. Mwah! Love you.